Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Sports Talk with me, Kyle. What's going on, man? Hey, the Lakers, Rob Pelinka is calling everybody. Desperation, of course, he's gonna have to overpay, but he's working. They're working out a deal. Trying to trade for Jaren Jackson Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr., who drained 2 3 points per game. He does what he needs to do. He's a great defender, defensive player of the year. Now, at time, there's a lot of mistakes that he does make, of course, in terms of penalty or the way he plays. And I think coming with the Lakers, you'll get an opportunity to play with LeBron James, to play with Luka Doncic. Of course, he's gonna give you. He's a live threat. He'll be a rim protector to give you that. So I'm super excited with that trade. You're gonna have to give up Austin Reeves, which is something that the Lakers are willing to do. Before they weren't willing to do that, but Austin Reeves didn't show up when it matters, when it's time for him to show up, he doesn't show up, and so he's a liability, as well. So you're gonna have to move on from Austin Reeves. You give up, you see Memphis trading Bane, so having a player like Austin Reeves, it would be great for them. So you give up Austin Reeves and you give up the pick. Jared Jackson Jr. is 27 years old. He still have a year left on his contract. So now is he gonna be? You have to get a commitment though. Right, as a Laker, as a Lakers, you have to get a commitment from him, which is something that Rob Pelinka is working with his camp to be able to do that before they make the trade. Now, you give up Austin Reeves, who has 3 4 years left on his contract, right? For a player who has 1 year left, you don't know, and then you're gonna give up draft capital. So you're giving up a starter and draft capital, and not knowing if the player's gonna resign with you. So you want that commitment. Hey, we bring you that. There. You're gonna have to offer him a new deal, and that's the conversation right now. With Jared Jackson and the camp and Memphis to make sure that it's like a sign and trade type. Right, you sign him and trade him to the Lakers to be able to to keep him for a long term, because Rob Pelinka right now, the worry is we give up Austin Reeves, we give up a first round pick, Austin Reeves and another player, so they're asking for Austin and Rui together, and Lakers, hey, give that up, give those up any day, man. So at the end of the day, you give up, you swapping, you giving up 2 players, and for Jared Jackson, is he worth it? Yes, he is. Because the Lakers are in a position right now where they need a true center. They need a rim protector. Anthony Davis is no longer there. They need somebody that's young, that can still compete, at a high level, and that can still score. If you look at Jared Jackson, he's been with Memphis since 2018, 2018 to 2019, 18, 19. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years with Memphis, right? 407 games, 28.6 minutes a game. He give you 18.5 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, 1.2 assists. He's a block. He's a rim protector. He's giving you two, 3 blocks a game, which is why he won Defensive Player of the Year. All right, because of how, the way he step up, what he brings, to you. So you look at when he came in as a rookie, right, playing 26 minutes, his production, went up in terms of points, right? When he first came out as a rookie, he averaged 13 points, 13.8 points a game, 4.7 rebound, 1.1 assists, and of course the blocks, right? But we're not gonna go with the blocks, but you already know what he does, right? Second year, he gave you 17.4 points a game, 4.6 rebound, 1.4 assists. Third year came in, he gave you 14.4 points a game, 5.6 rebound, 1.1 assists. Fourth year, 16.3 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, 1.1 assists. The assist is consistent with that, but he does pass the ball. And who did they have? Of course, when Bane, John Moran coming in, all those guys, of course, that helped, right? Then after that, he followed that with 18.6 points a game, 6.8 rebounds. His rebound went up, of course, 1 assist. Then 2023-2024 season, he gave you 22.5 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, 2.3 assists. Like I said, having Bane, having John Morant. If John Morant would have stayed healthy, if things was going on, if John Morant could stay out of trouble, this kid, it'll be great. So then, of course, he followed that with 22.2 points a game, 5.6 rebounds, 2 assists. Of course, there are games he could give you 10, 15 rebounds a game because he's there, right? He's there. He's very physical. Of course, the physicality costs him a lot as well. Put him in foul trouble. And I think coming with the Lakers, and that's something that of course, he's gonna have to work on. You don't want to tell a player that has high motor to tell him to slow it down. You don't want to do that because now that's hurting the ability of that player. I remember playing football. We had a kid, Francis. Francis was a freak of nature. Francis was, he was a left end, I was a right end. In defense, we both were defensive end. But this kid was a freak of nature. So his motors, he was hitting anything and everything moving, right? And sometimes, because of the momentum, now in this NFL, of course, they will blow the whistle for that. But which is hard as a defensive player when you come in at full speed, right? I'm 305 pounds. I'm still running. I still run a 4.4, right? Easy with no problem, right? So I'm coming in full speed. The quarterback, the ball, I'm this inch together. The ball is hot. What do you want me to do? I can't stop my momentum like that. It's like, I'm not a robot. This is a human being. So coming in, that contact, yes, the ball out, the hit, you're gonna get the hit. So you're gonna get the hit. Those are legal hits, and it's now depending on how it is, I'm coming in. If I'm bracing myself to not get hurt, and at the same time, you holding into the quarterback to make sure that quarterback does not. You don't want to slam him to the ground where it look like it's a violent hit. It's gonna be a violent hit regardless coming in, but I'm still gonna brace myself to make sure I don't hurt myself, and while I'm protecting this guy to make sure they don't call a foul. And and I think that this year the referees are in training to actually watch these, a lot of those plays coming in. They know which quarterback they call those things on. If it's Tom Brady was getting those calls, you breathe on him. Patrick Mahomes getting those calls regardless. But this quarterback, I'm a Jets fan. I watch quarterback get hit, knocked out, and they don't do anything. The refs, they know who to call it on, who not to call it on. They know who they have money on. But anyway, man, at the end of the day, man, I'm super excited for the Lakers to that trade's coming. From what I know, they're working on the trade right now for Jaren Jackson to go to the Lakers to join the Lakers, join LeBron James and Luka Doncic to be part of that. So Rob Pelinka doing everything possible. He can. He's giving up extra draft pick that he had to because he's desperate. We'll see what happens. Anyway, man, Sports Talk. Like, subscribe, and share, man. That's two things. Let's see what happens.